Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for showing up today to try to figure out some more about your dogs and try to figure out what the heck's going on out here with being able to get in a better relationship, better understanding, better know-how with some dogs. Because I know I come with a completely different approach that I see everyone just doing out here. Everyone's got what's the right leash and what's the right equipment and what's the right treats and what's the right this, what's the right, and I've just come to realize all of that is meaningless. It's just absolutely meaningless. That does not give you the best, nicest quality dog. The people in reality that spend the less money on the dogs are the ones that I've noticed have the nicest dogs on this planet. So what is the deal with that? How is it that so many people out here are struggling like crazy with their dogs? But yet we got people out here that in reality, for the most part, just straight up saying it, don't even pay any attention to the dog. But yet the dog is so nice. What's going on? The more that we put into it, the more that it's just looking more like chaos. The less we put into it, the better things start to look. I just have come to realize that is a universal law of this land out here with what it is that we do as people. The more we do, the more we think we're going to be happier, and the more we're just actually in a very, very frustrated, very, very anxiety-ridden state. Because the more that you do, the more that you have to keep on doing that more that you're doing. Then you never have time to be able to do the more that you're doing, and you just run into a situation that you have more that you can't even utilize anymore. And it's something about that is not actually bringing you any sort of success. So something I want to talk about today that I know who and what knows dogs better than anything on this planet. You know, there's something on this planet that is just in tune with dogs. You know what that is? Another dog. And I just get very, very confused of why people get so terrified when another dog is around your dog. Because if your dog is, this is one thing that I want to just straight up say, that a lot of y'all are so scared and so nervous and so paranoid about my dog is, because it's at the end of the leash and it's barking, it's growling, it's looking crazy. I'm going to pretty much say 99.9% of the time, your dog has absolutely no hostility and or no follow through with doing anything to another dog that does come up to and approach it. Especially if you just drop that leash and allow that dog to interact and meet another dog. Because it's something I'm going to say here that is, it might blow a couple people's minds right now how simple something I'm about to say is. The fact that if your dog that you think is dangerous and is going to kill another dog and it's ruthless and it's just going to destroy another dog, why is it that a loose dog would run up and get face to face with your dog? Why is it that loose dog, the dogs that know dogs understand dogs know body language better than any human on this planet could possibly research, study, and understand. We will die as human beings on this planet and never know what a dog is doing to a dog the way a dog sees another dog. So as we would have a dog come up to your dog and you're so, oh my goodness, why do you think that dog would come up to your dog thinking that that dog was going to harm it or hurt it or try to destroy it in some sort of way? That's just confusing to me. You know, animals are much, much different than us as humans in a way that in most cases, most all of them, they do not look and try to pursue and get into conflict. They try to get the conflict away. In most cases that I see when the dogs are like getting up to what I'm going to say is like how my Johnny does. He gets up to these scared looking dogs. He's like, dude, calm down. There's nothing to worry about out here. Then I watch the other dog just like, oh, okay, well, it is fine out here. He's giving them that language of everything's cool, man. What you got all this hostility out here for? So it's something fascinating that if you have this dog that you think and perceive is just so dangerous, why the heck would a random dog run up to your dog and feel it has like the okays to be able to come up to that dog? Because in the majority of every single case with your dog is not in, it's got frustration, it's got anger based on excitement. And the dogs can see that excitement through the frustration, through the anger that we see as humans. We only notice the dogs when we see it's flipping out and going crazy. We don't see the initial start where it started with excitement. And the dogs turn into this rage because of this excitement that they're not being able to get loose. And then once we be able to let the dogs get that excitement loose, then the dogs are just, they're cool, they're chill. They're like, okay, I got what I wanted. Because I've been testing this so much lately, so much so that it's just fascinating. I don't even care to watch human beings no more. I just like watching to see what a dog is going to do to a dog. And I see the dog flipping out on leash, and I see my dog looking at it like, what's happening? He's got zero, like, I want to hurt. I got zero, I have an intent to harm. And the other dog just looks back and they're like, oh, hey, hi, how you doing? And then they just get closer and closer and they just look at each other, and that dog that is just flipping out just stops. It just stops. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? That's something that we as humans are like, we're so quick to pull up on that leash and look all crazy. And that's what is, in my opinion, destroying the dogs even more. As opposed to realizing that if there's another dog willing to come up to your dog is, I'm going to straight up say it, it's not that it's dangerous as you think that is. You need to calm down. You need to relax. You need to chill a little bit. You need to just like take that relaxation and just sit down and just think for a moment, as opposed to just thinking that everything out here your dog is willing and wanting to kill. Because if that was the case, I'll guarantee you this, would not be able to hold your dog back on leash where you're going, what you're doing. These dogs, a dog 30 pounds or more is strong enough to pull you out I don't care how tough you think you are as a human. You are not stronger pound for pound to a dog. A 30-pound dog will rip your arm off, it will rip the leash through, it will snap your wrist to get the heck away, to get into battle if it really had that intent to. But these dogs go to the limit. They go to the limit of the end of that leash and they start pulling, they start pulling. They start pulling in a way that it is just enough, just enough. But if they went a little bit more, they would easily pull you and drag you, but they don't. And they don't because they do not have that intent to just go out and savagely harm. Now, if they wanted to come out and savagely harm, they sure would just rip out of your hand, take off, go find the dog, and just go take the dog out. This happens. This happens not too frequently, but this does happen. This is that one-off, that 1 out of 1,000, that 1 out of 100,000 in reality. This isn't very normal. We can hear about it and see about it every single day on the news, but this isn't normal compared to the amount of dogs that we have on this planet and the amount of human beings we have on this planet. I don't care if there's 10 people that... It's going to be unfortunate. I'm going to say something straight up. It's just crazy. But if 10 people got killed by a dog today, that number is still, compared to us as a world, as human beings, as compared to how many dogs we have, is so tiny. It's like winning the lottery in reality. You just won $100 million every single time. It is so small. But because we as a people can see about it more and more today, we think that it's happening more and more, and you're going to be so nervous that your dog is also going to do that. I'm telling you, if your dog has the intent to harm it, you will not be able to hold it back. If your dog just goes out and it just wants to destroy, you will not hold this dog back. You will not have enough physical force. You will not have the right equipment. You will not have the right anything. But there's something about this that is just very powerful in the fact that the dogs know way more than we do as humans. And if you have dogs that constantly keep up coming to your dog is more than likely not in this I want to destroy and kill type stance. Because why the heck would 15 dogs come up to your dog if your dog was wanting to kill every dog that it meets? Why the heck would the dogs keep putting themselves in danger, getting close to you, close to that animal that looks like it's going crazy? The dog that's coming up to your dog is more than likely saying to that dog, because I see this over and over, your dog is flipping out, and another dog comes up to it, and your dog stops flipping out, and it starts investigating. Tail starts wagging like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Hey, buddy, what are we going to do? And then we just move on like nothing ever happened. I see that over and over again. Even the dogs that try to come up to mine and try to nip it here and there, they're nipping it because they just have this extreme amount of anxiety. They're so excited that they're just like, I finally got free. And then the ones that do that are most hurting, nipping type dogs. That's how they play. Whereas other dogs wrestle and they play. Other dogs chew at each other and play. Other dogs play chase. Every dog has its way of playing. And when it sees that dog that looks crazy to us as humans at the end of the leash, flipping out, going crazy, the other dog is looking at it like, hey, what's up, buddy? Let's go have a party. Let's go play. Let's go do something. Let's go make something happen. Let's run to town, man. Like, let's have a good old time. We're not out here trying to look to fight. Something that not even many human beings do this. Try to go up to another human and just try to start conflict just because. You're just walking around, you just hit someone in the face just to try to start conflict. There's just nothing on this planet that does that. Everything is trying its best to try to avoid and get away. That's why the animals that are so territorial over their space, they hold that stance in a way of not trying to have conflict by marking and peeing everywhere so they can make sure that everything knows that that's its area, that's where it is. They're not out to just go straight head in and just try to absolutely destroy. And please, I love for anyone to just show me this stuff. That I see dogs that are just out to they see another dog and they just want to absolutely destroy it just because. Yes, there are going to be those weird ones, but in most cases, that dog is doing that, if it even does do that, with their owner with them. You remove that owner, and I'm going to show you that dog is so scared, so nervous, so shut down, that it will pee itself when a real dog comes up to it, because it's doing what it thinks that the owner is wanting it to do. And again, that's more of a rare case, a rare situation, a rare time. It's not always happening over and over. So that's something that I don't know how to get more people to just calm down with your dogs, because you're running around here thinking that, for one, I'm going to straight up say it, if you think your dog is dangerous to the point that it's at the end of the leash and you're like, I need to get all the dogs away, don't take your dog out for a walk anymore, because that's that's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous for you to take that dog that you think in your brain might chew on, bite somebody, bite a kid, bite another dog, bite a skateboard, bite a bike, do this, be able to put harm on somebody. Why would you take that dog out without a muzzle on, for one, basic minimum? And two, having some sort of high liability insurance put on that dog, so if something were to happen, that you would be able to take care of it and make sure everything is good to go. Why would you take your dog that you think is dangerous and scared and nervous of what it may do, take it out in public? That doesn't make sense to me. So there's something that's deep down inside of your conscious thinking brain that is saying, oh, this is scary, to really just getting deep down into the layers inside of who you are to let you know, like, everything is fine. Because in every single case that you've taken your dog somewhere and you've seen it flipping out, nothing happened. Nothing at all happened. In worst case, you saw another dog doing the same thing back to you, but nothing happened. And in some cases, when the dogs actually are close and they get to touch and they get real close to each other, nothing happens. And nothing continuously keeps on happening over and over and over and over again. And what to us as humans, again, looks like, oh, they're fighting or a dog fight. When they get together and they wrestling and they together, don't assume that there's a fight going on here. And understand that dogs are dogs. The dogs are savage, man. Dogs are beasts. Dogs are ruthless. Dogs are pushy. Dogs are bold. Dogs are what dogs are. And we cannot ever say that us as humans, we should never look at us as humans as being anything as what a dog is. But we put our human thinking on, oh, they're having a tiff and it's the end of the world and my dog is fighting, and you remove your dog and you never do that again. That is foolishness. That is absolute foolishness. And again, if you think your dog is so dangerous that it's going to try to destroy someone else, please stop taking your dog in public. Stop doing it. Because all that's really happening is us as humans that are further getting our dogs in a worse and a worse case. Because your dog is more than likely not scared of another dog. You are. If you drop the leash on that dog when it's sitting there barking and lunging and going crazy, I'm going to pretty much say that more likely no, if that other dog is not behind a fence, if that other dog is not on a leash, if that other dog is loose, your dog is going to run away. Or worse, or best case, it's going to run straight to you and it's going to be like, please, what's going on? What's going on? Because when your dog was looking like it was looking, it wasn't actually wanting to do what it was looking like, and then it was doing what it was thinking that it needed to do. So that's when another dog comes up to it, it's going to relax the whole situation. And the best case that I always see in every single situation, I've seen this over and over again. Dog on leash, dog flipping out. Dog off leash, dog is fine. Dogs meet dogs, they're perfectly fine. So stop. This is one thing that I think a lot of us are getting messed up with your dogs, is for one, thinking that your dog is what I'm going to say is dangerous. Your dog is out to harm. Your dog is out to hurt. Your dog is out to destroy. Your dog is out for blood. And it just is not. It just is not. It just is not. And that's being said to a lot of people, to a lot of people's dogs. Oh, your dog is reactive. You need to keep everything away. You never can allow your dog to be around another dog again. When in reality, if your dog is reactive, I would love to be able to bring that dog next to my Johnny Man, just so you can see that your dog is fine with being around another dog. People say this all the time, over and over again, because they're always working with other trainers and other stuff going on over and over and over again. And then the trainer said, oh, this dog is never going to be able to be around another dog again, the way that he acts or the way that she acts around dogs. And I bring this up. When someone says that to me, my first appointment day is to bring Johnny. And just to have Johnny in a down and have your dog end up laying down in a down state just as close as these two are within 20, 30 minutes. And they look at that like, what the heck is going on here? Because your dog has no desire to try to hurt and harm and try to go into battle with another dog. It just doesn't. And more people need to start to just realize that and understand that. And stop listening to someone has to say about, oh, your dog is dangerous, your dog is this, and your dog is that, you need to put your dog down. There's just a very, 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 very rare dog on this planet that you need to put the dog down because of something that it's doing. And you know when you need to do that, because no matter what you're doing, the dog is willing and wanting to bite you. Your dog is ripping your arm off to go to get to another dog, and it's literally dragging you, and it goes and attacks another dog. That's a whole different situation, and not many people at all. I still have yet to even see this with my eyes yet. I've heard stories and watched videos, but I've never seen this with my eyes of a dog that had the intensity to just want to kill, want to harm, want to just go in and just make it happen. I've just yet to see this, and it's not always out there. I see dogs that fake look like it, but to another dog, the dog understands it. And that's something that we really, as people, need to just really understand. How come my dog is cool with some dogs and not cool with other dogs? It might be more the language of what we are seeing with the dogs as opposed to what the heck is dogs doing. And at the same time, understand that not all dogs want to meet all dogs. Not all dogs are cool with all dogs. Not every dog is a friend to every dog. That's why some dogs, they look the other way and run on. And other dogs are like, hey, let's play. Because they match up, they have a pairing. They understand each other. They work with each other. They like each other. They play with each other. That's why for me, I have a dogs that always like to come up and herd and get behind my shepherd. Why? Because he likes doing the same thing. He does the same type of play. When he gets to playing, he loves to just open stretch, sprint, run, chase, go crazy. So the dogs that approach him are the dogs that always like doing that. But the other dogs that are like wrestling dogs, they just don't match. They don't fit together. So they don't do it together. And a lot of dogs that do the wrestling, it looks and it sounds like savage, man. That's why personally, I don't allow my dogs to even do the wrestling, because it always goes further, because that's what dogs are. They just start to just get turned into what they are, beasts. They start to get pushy. They start to get dominating. And what is it that we as humans also do that same exact thing? When we go to wrestling matches, when we go to this UFC stuff, we do this boxing stuff. We're going to be the best, to be the strongest, and do whatever it takes in the end. A lot of these sports that we have for humans, it goes to the point that people are almost dead, folks. Like, we out here pounding on folks. And the dogs and the animals do the same stuff when they go into the sport, go into the competition, go into that mode. So something that we should really be paying closer and closer attention to, something that I don't personally get this concept right here that I'm about to say for the third or the fourth time right now. If you are scared that your dog may hurt something outside, why the heck is that dog outside? Why is it outside? Why does it not have a muzzle on? Why does it not have like a 200-pound chain hooked up to it and making sure that dog cannot get away? Why is it that this animal is roaming the streets, the trails, the city, anywhere? Why is it out? If you think that your dog may potentially hurt another dog, or at the same time, the way that your dog looks could potentially trigger another dog to want to hurt your dog, why is that dog outside? Why are you still keeping that dog with you? Why is that dog around you? Why is that dog anywhere, even in the society anymore? Why is the dog here? If you think that that's going to happen. And that is something that I think a lot of people really, really, really need to think about. Because I'm telling you, even though if you're thinking and someone is saying to you, this dog is dangerous and this is what the dog is always going to be, and putting labels on a dog, my dog is reactive, this and this and this, and it's just always going to be that way. Why are you still keeping that dog? Knowing that all that is there and knowing that it's not going to help because what these people are saying to you. Why is it there? Because there's something deep down inside of you that says, no, that's not true. There's something deep down in you that's like, that can't be right. I see my dog at home and my dog is amazing. My dog is awesome. My dog is just so loving. My dog has zero desire to want to hurt anything, because deep down in you, you know that about you and with your dog. You know that, you see that, you've experienced that, and you're all about that. You've seen that there's no real intent to try to harm anything. You've seen that even when your dog does get into a tiff with another dog, everything usually turns out fine. Everything is usually pretty all good. You've seen that over and over again. And even when it's siblings that are fighting in the household and dog to dog in the household that are fighting, I've dealt with some crazy stuff. But it still doesn't go most that I've seen. There's that one-off. But we all love that. We can't live this world off that one-off and keeping that in our brain, that a dog kills another dog inside of the household. That is not the norm. The norm is they fight, they get damaged some, they have to get stitched up some, they get hurt real bad some, but it doesn't continue to keep on going that way. And it sucks for us because it hits us, because now I got vet bills and this bill and pay for this bill and do this bill and do this to be able to rehab the dogs. But they're just, for the most cases, they're going to go to a point and stop. And they don't just continue to keep on going. But there's always that story out there, that 1 out of a million, that this happened and this happened and this happened. Just like there's a new story out here. Someone just got killed by a bunch of pit bulls in his backyard. It's like there's always that story out there. There's always going to be that story. But is that your dog? Is that what you're around? Is that what you're dealing with? Or is that something out there that you don't know how they were treated? You don't know how they were cared for. You don't know what's going on with them. You don't know anything. So don't think that yours is that when you don't see that in yours. You see different stuff out there. And again, I'm going to say for the 5th time, if you are scared of what your dog may do or what another dog may do to yours, that I'm going to trigger your dog to do something crazy to another dog, why is that dog on this planet right now? Why is it here? Why are you still feeding it? Why are you still allowing it to sleep in the bed with you, knowing that this dog could potentially kill another dog? You're still sleeping in the bed with this dog. Why are you doing that? You're still feeding it. You're still giving it water. You're still giving it hugs and pets. You're still giving it treats. You're still allowing your grandkids around it. You're still putting friends around it. You're still doing all this, but yet you're scared of what your dog may do when it's out in public, for one, and it's scared of what it could trigger to trigger something else from someone else. That is confusing as all heck could be to me. That is very confusing. And me saying that, I want to be able to explain to you, calm down. Calm down. Because your reactive dog, I would love anyone to bring any of y'all reactive dogs around this dog. And this is why I'm going to say that there's something that people that have confident, good, independent dogs need to start helping out more people that have these dogs that are crazy looking. To be able to, for one, show them that it's all good, man. Your dog is just, it's excited. It's so excited that it doesn't know what to do with itself anymore. That's why it looks crazy. And just show them, like, that's what's going on here. Instead of just running away and keeping on hiding, because the more you keep running away, the more you keep on hiding, the worse and worse that your dog's gonna keep on getting. And it just doesn't make sense to me on why you would want it to keep getting worse as opposed to just getting it to get into a better place. Because there's just one thing on this planet that knows dogs better than any human, and that's dogs. If another dog is willing to go up to your dog that you think is dangerous or someone has told you is dangerous, what the heck is going on here? What's happening? Why is it, why? Why? That's all I have to say. Why? Why would another dog just walk up to your dog just casually like, hey, let's play, let's have fun? If your dog was out for blood, out to just destroy, why? I just have questions. And when these things happen and other trainers see this stuff, and they don't have any explanation for it, then what the heck is going on? Why are they telling you that your dog is so dangerous that you can't bring him anywhere, that you can't this and you can't that, and your dog is never going to get better, and your dog is only going to get worse, and your dog is this? Why are we listening to people like that? That when you could bring another dog to them, and granted, this is something I can say. Not that I'm not even in a lucky stance that I have a dog like this. I have multiples that I bring all of my dogs to work, depending on what I need, to be able to show a reactive dog what the heck is going on. I could bring this one to first calm them down. I could bring this one to make sure that when they see that excitable dog, you're still calm. I could bring another one that's so independent that he don't even pay attention, just to have in the background. And then I've got another one that I could just have around. So this is something that I would almost like require from someone with a dog that's reactive to be able to see who you're working with, to figure out what the heck's going on here. If they can't bring their dog next to your dog and get their dog to be able to relax and calm down, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Your dog is not crazy. Your dog is not dangerous. Your dog is none of that. Your dog is confused of what the heck is going on here. And the one thing I'm going to say is mainly confused about is the leadership position here. If the dog thinks that it needs to do something that you're telling it to do, and you're having a mismatch going on here. But the dog has pretty much, I've not seen this. Dogs having an extreme desire to just go straight to a dog and just kill it. This isn't normal. What's normal is the dogs are having a heck of a good time and they want to play and they want to have fun. And this is something that more and more people just need to really relax down with your dogs with. Because the one thing I'm going to say again for the 6th or the 7th time, if your dog is so dangerous, why the heck is it in public? And if you think that it's so dangerous that it's going to hurt something, please do a solid for everyone out here and stop bringing your dog in public. Because in reality, you're going to continue to keep on making everything out here worse and worse and worse. Everything is going to continue to keep getting worse if you're scared of what's going to happen. Because that is the number one thing that I believe is not so much of any sort of training techniques, any sort of treat stuff, any sort of equipment use, anything. It's us as humans that are doing things that are making it worse for every single other person out there. If every single person right now that was scared of what your dog may do or scared of what a dog would do to your dog, and you stop taking your dogs in public, I will almost slap a guarantee and say that our reactive dog issue would disappear overnight. It would disappear. It would just be completely gone. And only the people out that felt confident with their dogs, all dogs would be out off leash, all dogs would be walking around having a good time, all dogs would be able to meet and interact with each other in a way that they wanted to, if they wanted to. All dogs more than likely wouldn't meet other dogs, because like what I do with mine, I don't allow my dogs to just meet every dog and every person. They have to wait to see what the heck's going on here. They got to ask my permission up front. So we would be living in a completely different world overnight if everyone that was so scared of what could happen and what may happen would stop taking their dogs in public. Like, I would almost guarantee that overnight, literally overnight, if you are scared of your dog, don't ever take it out in public no more. You would see all this reactive stuff disappear. It would just disappear. It would disappear. Because it's nothing with the dog. It's everything with us as humans, what we're doing with these dogs. Because a dog sees a reactive dog and it's just like, hey, what's going on, man? That's why y'all see dogs that are just flipping out going towards each other. That's why you see some dogs that are just like looking the other way. Some dogs that just stare at them like, dude, what are you doing over there? You always see this. In most cases, it's only one of them that's doing it. Even though both are like that, one of them is doing it at a time. One will start popping off, and then the other is just looking at it. Then he stops, and then the other starts, and then it just goes back and forth. And it's just constant because of what we as humans are doing here. And again, I don't understand this new training stuff that we just blame the dog and blame the dog and blame the dog. The dog is in the human's ownership. If the human is unable to take ownership of the dog, then you need to, for one, get rid of the dog. Get rid of the dog if you are unable to take ownership of the dog. And there's so much stuff out here that I see today that it's all about, oh, the human couldn't possibly have done anything wrong, the dog's fault, the human you're perfect and everything is great with you. And my message is 100% against that, because it shows and it's proven to me over these years of what I've been doing and seeing that the dog is simple. The dog is easy. The dog loves to take leadership. The dog loves to take direction. The dog loves to be able to just find that, not take leadership, but take the leadership from us. They want us to be the leader to them. That's what they're all looking for. And when I continuously keep on seeing the same thing happen over and over again, I have no choice but to say, this is just what it is. This is what it is. That the more that I'm just relaxed with helping people and just say, oh, it's okay, it's okay, the worse and worse I keep seeing the dogs get. But when I'm straight up, strict and firm, say, if you don't do this, you're not going to get any better. If you don't do this, you're going to continuously keep watching it get worse. If you don't do this, then why even have the dog? Because you're not going to be able to keep up with it, so why even have it? Why have it if you're just going to allow it to keep getting worse and worse, and or even just staying the same? We should constantly be building and getting better as us as humans at the same time. So something that is just confusing to me, very, very confusing to me, that again, I'm going to say it for the 8th or the 10th time. If your dog is so crazy, so dangerous, that you're scared that another dog is going to hurt it, or your dog is going to hurt another dog, why is it outside right now? Why do you have your dog in public? Why do you allow kids to pet your dog? Why do you pet your dog? Why do you hand feed your dog? Why do you put your dog's face close to your face? Why your dog licking you in the face? Why your dog sleeping on the bed with you? Why your dog anywhere around anybody? Why you allow your friends to be able to bring your dogs over? Why do you allow your dogs to go in the backyard knowing that your neighbors have dogs in their backyards, that your dog can jump the fence and go over there and kill them? Why is this dog around? What's going on that you are having this dog around knowing that it's going to hurt and harm somebody? That's something that I think a lot of people should really start to ask and start to figure out, because it's some stuff that, we could try to be sweet and be soft and try to dance around a lot of stuff out here. But that's not what I'm about. I'm about getting straight to the issues here, straight to the problems, straight to figuring out how to be able to find solutions. And we got a lot of people out here that just aren't about that, because they don't have the confidence behind them. Oh, I'm not going to get hired, and people aren't going to listen to me. People are going to just constantly keep running away from me. If you're giving people false understanding, not giving them real help and giving them any kind of real results, then why are you even out here to do that? That means that that's manipulation to the point of deceitfulness, to the point of lying, to the point of just being ruthless, man. You need to actually be helping people. And that's something that we as a people don't like doing anymore for some reason. We like to just watch other people fail and stumble and fumble, as opposed to helping folks out and giving them the real help that they need, especially if you know the information. If you know how to actually help, then why aren't you putting it out there, worrying about what someone's going to say? There's something about me that I don't know why, but I just don't care about what someone has to say. I get so much pushback a little bit here and there, and a lot of stuff that I talk about, and I just don't care. The pushback I enjoy it. I like seeing it. I like it that some of y'all are just so into every single word. I make 30, 40, 50-minute videos, and some of y'all are listening to every single word that I say and trying to critique every single thing that I'm saying. For one, I'm not a perfect human being, and I don't know why, but people just love to view me as that. And two, there's differences that are going on here. That my life and my lifestyle isn't the same as your life and your lifestyle. Your values, your beliefs, your understanding is not the same as mine. I'm going to almost guarantee that majority of everyone that watches my stuff, your values and your needs and your desires are not the same as mine. Not nowhere near close. I'm going to promise you that. Not nowhere near close what I believe in and what I care the most about and what I desire the most. I doubt a single person that has ever seen me in this world has ever been on a matching stance with what it is that I'm looking for. And that's why for me, I constantly keep getting pushback. And that's why for me, I love that. because I get to say something to spark some interest, to be able to make you think a second, to make you figure out like, what the heck's going on here? Because I'm pretty much going against what everything out here is saying. Everyone is, oh, you're good to go. Give them a treat and everything is going to be fine. And I'm going to say, no, that's not going to help it. That's not going to get you any better. Oh, your dog is reactive and that's what it is, and it's never going to get any better. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. A straight up lie. Oh, your dog is dangerous because it barks at other dogs on leash. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. Oh, your dog is abused because it doesn't react on leash. That's the new stuff I hear today. People say to me, I've heard that many times. Oh, look at that dog. He's sad because he's calm, because he's in tune with me, because he's relaxed, because he's hanging out. That I'm abusing that dog to get it to be that way. It's like, that's so funny. Today, the new standard is reactive, is that. The new standard is no longer having a nice, polite, calm, relaxed dog. That like my dog's laying right here. I'm abusing them. I'm being mean to them. I'm being ruthless to them. I'm denying them access of life because of this is how that they look. They should be running and sporadic and killing all my chickens right now, and that would be fine. That'd be acceptable. And for me, I'm going to say like that's not the part of the life, the world that I'm going to be going to. I'm going to go towards the real world. The real world of realizing that all these labels and all this stuff that's being slapped on all this stuff out here, it's all lies. It's all lies. Your dog for sure can get better. And I know you know that, because deep down inside of you, you've seen your dog reacting and looking crazy. You still take it to places, because deep down inside of you know, you have this core something in you that says, my dog is fine because I can see it at home and it's fine. It just flips out at dogs here and there sometimes. So that it's somehow letting you know inside that everything is okay. And if you know that deep inside of you, then stop acting so scared, so nervous, so worried, so frantic, so anxious, so everything when your dog does freak out, because you're just adding to it more and more. Just walk and just, whatever, man. I'm moving on. I'm not paying any attention to this. Because I'm telling you, your dog had the intent to harm. You will not hold it back. You will not hold, you do not. I don't care if you have 5 people behind you. If my Johnny man here, because I've done this before, man. I had this dog when I first took him to the cows. It's a little embarrassing to say this right now. But the first time I took this dog to the cows, he didn't know me all that great. He knew me from training at school. But this dude has never seen anything like that. He saw this dog chasing him. He's like, I'm going to do that. And I had this dude on leash. And this dude pulled me, dragged me. I fell and I was rolling on the ground, man. I was just getting, this dude had so much power, and he wasn't even going 100%. I could tell he was still holding back because he was still kind of looking back at he was looking back at me, just dragging me. I was like this leash around my wrist, and I was just dragging on the ground. This simple little boy, he is skinny, long-legged dog. He is not for pulling, he's not for power. Had me dragging. He was dragging me, man. He was dragging me to chase some cows. And the only way that I got it to stop was he decided to stop. He decided to just let it go. Maybe me screaming and hooting and hollering enough and trying to tell him to down or stop or whatever I was doing was like maybe got into him for a second, but he was going, man. There was no power behind me, because I was holding back, and then I was dragging my feet like this, holding them back, and then at one moment, I was gone. I was dragging on the ground. If your dog's got intent to harm, that's the situation that you're gonna end up in. But if you're not ending up in that situation, calm down, thank you.